All right, we're going to do some quick rounding money examples. So the first number we're going to look at rounding is $1,784.92 and then 31 hundredths of another cent. If we're rounding money, we're going to go to two decimal places. And in this case, what we can do is kind of think of it like a multiple choice question. So we have two different options. So the number before the decimal stays the same. This is going to either stay as 92, or we're going to end up taking the number in the hundredths place value, which is two numbers after the decimal, and moving it up one. So it either stays the same or moves up one. And once we realize that these are our two possible answers, we ask ourselves, which one of these two numbers is this closer to? And to determine that, we end up looking at the number that comes right after the hundredths place, right after the second place value. So in this example, it's a 3. So if we were to graph it, we're asking ourselves once again, which number, either 1784 and 92 hundredths or 1784 and 93 hundredths, is this number closest to? And if we put on a number line, we can see that it is closer to the smaller number of the two. So this is going to be the number that we rounded to. If we're not graphing it, what we're doing is we're looking at this number here and we're asking, is it less than 5? If it's less than 5, we know that it's less than halfway, which means it's closer to the lower number. Go on to the next one. Now we're looking at 47.8273. So once again, we're rounding it to two decimal places because we're talking about money. We're going to focus on the number just to the right of it, which is a 7. If we graph it on a number line, this time we did a vertical number line, we can see that it's closer to the larger of the two. So if you're going to do this question, you're asking yourself, is this closer to 47.82 or 47.83, where the number in the second place value would round up? Graphing it tells us that it's closer to the bigger one. All we have to do is look at the number that is next to the second place value and see that it's larger. It's a 5 or larger, so it does round up. Last example, we have this one, $34.68, and then we have a 5 after that. And the reason we chose this one is because it's a 5. It's right in the middle. So if I'm going to look at this place value here, I'm asking myself, is it $34.68, or is it going to be $34.69, where the second number after the decimal goes up 1? The 5 is halfway. So what's the rule that we're going to look at when we have a 5 in that place value? So the rule is when there's a 5 that we always go up. And the reason is, if we were to graph it, it does show up as halfway. So we know that because it's not a 4, it's a 5, it is at least halfway. If we were to take a closer look at the graph and we actually zoom in, there is a chance that this number ends up being a little bit more than halfway. If they only give us 3 decimal places, what if we went to 4 decimal places or 5 decimal places? In this case, it's actually more than halfway, but we wouldn't have found that out until we got to the 6th or 7th decimal place and realized it wasn't a 0. So that's why if it's a 5 or bigger, we always go up.